Good afternoon, Daktari.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Simon.
How have you been?
I've been well.
It has been well.
Yes.
And I'm happy to have you this afternoon.
Okay.
How is business?
Business is doing well.
Yes.
We are still doing what we know best.
Okay.
Yes.
How have you been with your family?
My family has been doing pretty fine.
Yes.
And thank God for this one.
I'm happy to have a discussion with you this afternoon.
Yes.
And I will appreciate if I were to ask you a few questions.
I have no problem.
And then you can let the viewers know your projections of the way forward.
Okay.
What you intend to do.
Yes.
For our viewers. And number two, if you are also willing to serve in other capacities.
Yes.
In this republic of ours.
Okay.
And number one,
yes.
I want you to tell the viewers your name.
Yes.
In full, so that those people who are watching you the first time can be in a position to know you well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Bwana Simon. My name is Dr. Paul Kibicho. I am a resident, currently a resident of Nairobi, but I happen to be from Nyeri County, as well as Laikipia County. So I've got three counties that I normally call my home. Nyeri County is where I was born. Laikipia County is where my parents later on went, and then Nairobi County is where I operate from.
Okay.
Yes.
And your career-wise, what have you been doing since you left school? I know, Daktari, you have so many certificates, you have graduated so many times, and some of them I can't even remember, but I know you have already been on graduation square. Sometimes wearing the gown as a graduate, and other times wearing the gown for other people's graduations.
Thank you very much. I can tell you that my life has been a bit, let me say, my life has not been very smooth, Mr. Simon. When I graduated from high school, I went to college, did what we call insurance, from a college that was called Diploma of Kiabu, Nyahururu campus. After clearing the diploma, that is insurance, I was sent to a company in Nyeri, which is called Kenya National Assurance, where I sold insurance for the year 1992, 93, 94, 95, 96. The company collapsed. I joined Pan Africa Life, where I was selling insurance from 1996 to 2015. And from 2015 to 2022, I'm still selling insurance in Britain, by the way. I still sell insurance to date.
Okay.
That does not mean that I don't do other consultancies. Because I'm not in a fixed employment, insurance, I'm employed on contract basis. Then I do learn some consultancies. Okay. My consultancies are based on a number of areas. I do business consultancy, financial consultancy, strategy formulation, implementation and operationalization. I do guidance and counseling. I'm a lawyer. I do what we call legal clinics. And those are some of the things that I do.
Okay, Daktari, that is great.
Yes.
I also understand you are director and the CEO of several companies.
Yes.
And these companies are known countrywide, and some of them are even international.
Yes.
Would you mind to tell our viewers what you do and the companies that you represent?
Yes.
And also the area of specialization,
so
that those people who might be interested in partnering with you can know where to get you and how to go about it.
Thank you so much, Simon. I do have some companies, but mine are purely hustling companies. Hustling meaning that we are not where we ought to be. One of our companies is called Panorama Consulting Company. At Panorama, that's purely a consultancy company. We do consultancy businesses. We consult for companies, for individuals, that is for individuals, for corporates, for companies, for organizations on different areas. We consult on what we call business, we do business consultancy, how to run a good business, how to prepare a business plan, how to do audit for business, the organization audit, we do financial wellness and training, legal clinics, we do effectiveness and efficiency at workplace, winning workplace habits, the attributes of a good employee. We do a lot of things at Panorama Consulting Company, which we do sometimes at individual level and at corporate level. So we do charge, and charging depends on the number of people and where we are doing that particular exercise. Okay. That is one company which has been there for the last 11 years. It was registered on 8th June 2011. So we are 11 years old, and we thank God for that. So we have another company which we still consult for, which is called Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited. This is a company we formed after realizing that we don't have new billionaires, and we thought that we can start small and help people to start putting money in our company. Then we invest on their behalf, and they get what we call returns on the investments. And the beauty with Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited is the fact that people pay the amount of money they can be able to afford. At Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, you buy one share at 16,000 shillings. One share is at 16,000 shillings. We have floated 125,000 shares, equivalent to Kenya shillings 2 billion. The maximum number of shares an individual can buy are 625, which translates into 10 million shillings. And there's what we call registration non-refundable fee of 5,000 shillings for individuals and 10,000 shillings for corporates. So you can be buying your shares monthly, you can be buying your shares quarterly, half-yearly, or yearly, and the minimum number of years that you require to be a member of Quest Pinnacle to start enjoying the dividends are 3 years. So far we are 1 year old. We still have 2 years we start paying dividends to our members. And the beauty is that the amount of money that one have contributed will have what we call capital preservation. Capital preservation means that even if the economy is not performing very well, your principal remains intact. The only thing that keeps on varying depending on the performance of the economy is what we call the return on investment. So when you become a member, we issue what we call share certificate. It's a fully recognized document with what we call the company seed and signatures of the directors. And Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited is run by a group of directors.
Okay.
We are actually...
So before we proceed,
yes,
there is one thing I would want you to clarify to our viewers.
Yes.
Assume I come with my money,
yes,
and I bring to Quest Pinnacle.
Yes.
And you are telling the viewers that they are supposed to invest for a minimum of
3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
Now, supposing something happens and I being one of your customer,
yes,
or an investor,
yes,
my financial status changed,
yes,
and I need to withdraw that money. What
yes
happens?
Thank you very much. That's a very important question. We normally request people to give us a notice of 6 months. So if you want to withdraw from Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, you must have been a member for at least 6 months. And depending on the amount of money that you had paid for those 6 months, we'll be able to calculate and see whether you're qualified to be given principal plus interest. Because if you have been paying 16,000 shillings for 6 months, you have given us 96,000 shillings, which does not attract any return on investment. So in case of sickness, we'll give you the full refund. We don't even, not necessarily, we don't have to keep you for 6 months, because we had a case of one of us, we had a problem and we refunded the money to him. But if you want to withdraw from Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited, you must have been a member for at least 6 months.
So you are telling the viewers that if one wants to withdraw in case of an emergency, or maybe something that maybe financial status have changed, there will be no administration
charges,
fee, or
we
charges
don't charge.
that will be deducted.
No initial fee when entering, and there is no redemption fee.
So that means the only amount that will not be refundable is for the registration.
For registration, that's non-refundable.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Now, what about the returns you are telling the viewers about? Are they guaranteed after those 3 years, or what happens?
What we have done is that we've been able to evaluate all the available investment vehicles. If you go to the treasury bills and treasury bonds, the government is currently giving at 8.6%. And it depends, even if you invest for 91 days, 182 days, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. If you go to what we call the money market, the highest company is currently giving at about 10.1%. If you go to banks, they normally give 7%. In our case, we are telling you the minimum expected return is 13%. Okay. The estimated minimum guarantee is 13% on investment. Okay. And for those who have given us money in lump sum, they have an advantage because they have already started accumulating what we call returns by virtue of having met the minimum threshold of investment that attracts what we call returns. So we'll be able to pay them compounded dividends come that year.
And what about the security of these investments?
Yes.
For the sake of our viewers?
Yeah, what happens is that the Quest Pinnacle Investment Ventures Limited has got what we call investment partners. And those investment partners, they have what we call the deposit protection fund. So the funds for the members is all taken care of. Just like banks, we have what we call the Deposit Protection Fund. We also have the same benefit when it comes to our members by extension. So the investments are safe, unless maybe the government and unless maybe we don't have a Republic called Kenya.
Back to the issue of consultancy and also the investment bit of it.
Yes.
Now, if a new investor wants to come and do some consultation before he or she decides whether to invest with you or not, and you direct this investor to your office, is the investor supposed to pay any fee before he comes to see you?
Thank you very much. You see what happens, we are a consultancy firm, so if you come consulting, you have to be subjected to what we call the consultancy fee. So you have to pay 5,000 shillings for the consultancy. That 5,000 means we first of all open for you a file with 1,500, the 3,500 is for 1 hour. So 5,000 is actually 1 hour inclusive. So if you extend 1 hour, we charge you 2,000 shillings for every extra 1 hour. Yes.
So that means if this investor or this customer stays in your office for 3 hours.
3 hours, yes.
So it means this customer will have paid 11,000.
5,000 plus the 6,000. This is it.
Okay, now we go to the issue of you being a scholar.
Yes.
With the kind of education you have, you have many degrees, you are a lawyer, you are an entrepreneurship, you are a doctor in strategic management, and I have not heard you talking about working in the government. Would you be interested in serving with the current regime?
Let me say this, Mr. Simon, that all along it has been my desire to serve in the government. The only challenge that we have is that anytime you go seeking for that particular opportunity, it becomes a little bit difficult for reasons best known to the people who give jobs. So it is not only the government of Dr. William Ruto that I would desire to work for. I would also have desired even to work for President Uhuru's administration, President Mwai Kibaki's administration, but that chance has not been offered to me. In terms of academics, just like you have said, I hold a PhD in business administration, a master's in business administration, a bachelor's in business administration, I have a bachelor of laws degree, I have a national diploma in marketing and sales, I have a diploma in business management, I have a diploma in theology. I have quite a number of accolades. So I'm still looking for, if the government of the day may say to give me a job to serve, I have no problem of serving the government to the best of my knowledge. So if that opportunity came my way, I would readily take it.
And what steps have you taken to just try and penetrate or maybe look for that opportunity?
Well, I have looked for opportunities at what we call the Public Service Commission. So I've been able to tender my application. So if it is considered, I appreciate. There are other posts, like now becoming a cabinet secretary. That one is at the prerogative of the president of the day. And I can tell you for sure that it all depends on how known you are. I may be known in other circles, but if I'm not known in the circles that matter, maybe becoming a cabinet secretary will take the heart of God. However, I'm still optimistic that maybe the government of the day, which is being now run by Dr. William Samoei Ruto, they can consider me. This does not mean that I can't serve in a county government. If, for instance, my governor, who is called Governor Kahiga, you know Governor Kahiga is our governor from Nyeri. If Governor Kahiga decided to give me a space in his office, I'll do that. If Governor Joshua Kahora, His Excellency Joshua Kahora from Laikipia, deems it fit to give me a job, I'll do that. Let me do that. If I'm called upon by Dr. Kangata, Iroko Kangata, I'll do that. If Governor Sakaja calls me, I'll do that. I'm not choosy. I'm there to serve the Republic of Kenya. And let me just say that, let me express my disappointment that, okay, I'm competent, I'm qualified, I have done consultancies for big organizations. I had not mind serving in any position within the government because there's education. In the grave, there is no responsibility. You know that. So we went to school to get jobs. It pains me to the core because you have raised that question. When I see our daughters, our sons and daughters pursuing education, when we people who already are degree holders are struggling. So I would urge that maybe the government of the day may become a little bit meritocratic. They may embrace what we call meritocracy, where they look at the merits of an individual, not which political divide you belong to, not which tribe you belong to, not which region you belong to, not which religion you belong to. I think when we go those levels, we'll get a chance to serve in the government. So I still look forward to serving in the government.
Thank you, Daktari. Yes. Then before we conclude, there is one other issue that I want you to, for the sake of the viewers, to bring to their attention. I understand you are also a blood ambassador of SACCOs. Not one, not two, several SACCOs. And I don't know whether you are the one who asked for that job or applied for that job, or just because of the kind of work that you do, you are invited to go do a presentation to them, and they realize that you are potential.
Well, I want to make it clear that I'm only an ambassador of one circle. I do consult for other circles, but in terms of being an ambassador, I'm only an ambassador of All In Circle.
All In Circle.
All In Circle is the headquarters are in Kilowea. They have a branch in Kilowea, and they have their headquarters in Kilowea. You can find them also in Kianyaga. You can find them also in Thika. You can find them also in what you call Kemana, in Oloitoktok. You can find them in Kitengera. You can find them in Narok. They are also in Thika branch, and now they are now coming to Nairobi, Koinange Street.
Okay.
So I would advise people that it is always important to patronize the services or the products of SACCOs, because by so doing you grow. You find yourself growing. Their terms are favorable, they are people friendly, and they do not demand a lot of collaterals like many financial institutions do. So I would advise people to join, if possible, they join All In Circle.
Okay.
Yes.
That is good. I'm happy to have you.
Thank you.
Daktari.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And I hope to have you again.
Thank you.
And all the best in whichever area that you want to serve this republic.
Thank you.
I will be praying for you.
Thank you.
And it shall be well.
That is my prayer. Thank you so much, Mr. Simon Kavu, for the time that you have taken with me. And I look forward to today's meeting becoming fruitful and having several other shows of that nature. Thank you so much, Honorable Fua. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Joanna. I look forward to meeting you another day.
Thank you.
Shalom.